With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 2 of 4.
Etc.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws.
Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Ruby! Ruby! I'm having fun! I'm having fun!
It's taken. It's taken. Me! Kikiri! 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 Hi! Nakama. Harry!
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nasze programy oferują wiele języków. Prosimy zobaczyć suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Remember that the good of life, where it has any good at all, is not due to anything in the partnership of a soul and body, but to the repelling of evil by virtue. Please continue watching to find out more from the philosopher Plotinus, vegetarian.
Vegan. Rather be harmed than harm others.
Freedom for all! Justice for animals! Freedom for all! Justice for animals! Freedom for all! Justice for animals! No more oppression! Animal liberation! No more oppression! Animal liberation! There's no excuse for animal abuse! Money's no excuse for animal abuse!
Kalimera means good day in Greek. Greetings, lovely viewers. I'm Katerina. Knowing that all living beings are God's creation, the noble Sarkatsani people of Greece stand with you in upholding this belief by living a righteous and compassionate life. May you always be blessed with wisdom and tranquility in the divine's blessings. Welcome to excerpts from the 6 Enneads by Plotinus, vegetarian. The Nature of Good and Non-Being, Part 1 of 2, on Words of Wisdom.
Make peace now. Any country has some to offer for the wellness of our world. Please destroy your madness, not our beautiful, loving earth.
Plotinus, vegetarian, was one of the most influential philosophers in antiquity after Plato, vegetarian. In his philosophy, there are three principles: the one, the intellect, and the soul. Historians of the 19th century invented the term Neoplatonism and applied it to Plotinus's philosophy. His metaphysical writings have inspired centuries of Islamic, Jewish, Christian, and Gnostic metaphysicians. The issue of happiness is one of Plotinus's greatest imprints on Western thought, as he was one of the first to introduce the idea that happiness is attainable only within consciousness. From all accounts, his personal and social life exhibited the highest moral and spiritual standards. He disliked talking about his own life, disapproved of animal people meat, and refused medications containing animal people substances. Plotinus's final words were, "Try to raise the divine in yourselves to the divine in the all." Long before his physical departure from this world, the philosopher entrusted two of his closest disciples, Porphyry, vegetarian, and Emilius, with the extensive task of collecting, revising, and compiling his writings. Thus, the sixth Enneads was published to share Plotinus's precious insights with countless generations. It consists of 54 treatises, varied in length, arranged in 6 sets of 9 Ennead in 3 volumes. The Enneads are sorted by levels of sophistication, starting with the first Ennead, which emphasizes ethical topics.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Latvia is one of them. Latvia, Section 230 of the Criminal Law. In Latvia, the cruel treatments of animal people can be punished by a fine or up to 5 years incarceration. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses, no more hurting, no more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Today, we are pleased to present excerpts from the 7th tractate of the first Ennead, which explores the concept of good, emphasizing that meaningfulness or goodness of life arises through virtuous actions and choices, and death can be seen as an ascent to a higher state of being. The first Ennead, 7th tractate, on the primal good, Section 1. We can scarcely conceive that for any entity, the good can be other than the natural act expressing its life force, or in the case of an entity made up of parts, the act appropriate, natural, and complete, expressive of that in it which is best. For the soul, then, the good is its own natural act. But the soul itself is natively a best. If further its act be directed towards the best, the achievement is not merely the soul's good, but the good without qualification. Now given an existent which, as being itself the best of existences, and even transcending the existences, directs its act towards no other, but is the object to which the act of all else is directed, it is clear that this must be at once the good and the means through which all else may participate in good. This absolute good other entities may possess in 2 ways, by becoming like to it, and by directing the act of their being towards it. Now if all aspiration and act whatsoever are directed towards the good, it follows that the essential good neither need nor can look outside itself or aspire to anything other than itself. It can but remain unmoved, as being, in the constitution of things, the wellspring and first cause of all act. Whatsoever in other entities is one of the nature of good cannot be due to any act of the essential good upon them. It is for them, on the contrary, to act towards their source and cause. The good must, then, be the good not by any act, not even by virtue of its intellection, but by its very rest within itself. existing beyond and above being. It must be beyond and above the intellectual principle and all intellection. For again, that only can be named the good to which all is bound, and itself to none. For only thus is it veritably the object of all aspiration. It must be unmoved, while all circles around it, as the circumference around the center from which all the radii proceed. Another example would be the sun, central to the light, which streams from it and is yet linked to it, or at least is always about it, irremovably. Try all you will to separate the light from the sun, or the sun from its light, forever the light is in the sun.
Peace is happening around our world.
There are many countries who have taken actions to promote peace and foster amity among peoples and governments. The following is one of them. Etc.
September 2023. Yemeni Houthi rebels meet with Saudi Arabian government officials over 5 days to discuss resolving the conflict in Yemen. By creating peace, we all can make a loving, serene, and prosperous world.
Section 2. But the universe outside, how is it aligned towards the good? The soul is by direction toward soul, soul towards the good itself, through the intellectual principle. Everything has something of the good, by virtue of possessing a certain degree of unity and a certain degree of existence, and by participation in ideal form, to the extent of the unity, being and form which are present. There is a sharing in an image, for the unity and existence in which there is participation are no more than images of the ideal form. With soul it is different. The first soul, that which follows upon the intellectual principle, possesses a life nearer to the verity, and through that principle is of the nature of good. It will actually possess the good if it orientates itself towards the intellectual principle, since this follows immediately upon the good. In sum, then life is the good to the living, and the intellectual principle to what is intellective, so that where there is life with intellection, there is a double contact with the good. Section 3. But if life is a good, is there good for all that lives? No, in the vile, life limps. It is like the eye to the dim-sighted. It fails of its task. But if the mingled strand of life is to us, though entwined with evil, still in the total of good, must not death be an evil? Evil to what? There must be a subject for the evil. But if the possible subject is no longer among beings, or still among beings, is devoid of life, why a stone is not more immune? If, on the contrary, after death life and soul continue, then death will be no evil but good. Soul, disembodied, is the freer to ply its own act. If it be taken into the all-soul, what evil can reach it there? And as the gods are possessed of good and untouched by evil, so certainly is the soul that has preserved its essential character. And if it should lose its purity, the evil it experiences is not in its death, but in its life. Suppose it to be under punishment in the lower world, even there the evil thing is its life and not its death. The misfortune is still life, a life of a definite character. Life is a partnership of a soul and body. Death is the dissolution. In either life or death, then the soul will feel itself at home. But again, if life is good, how can death be anything but evil? Remember that the good of life, where it has any good at all, is not due to anything in the partnership, but to the repelling of evil by virtue. Death then must be a greater good. In a word, life in the body is of itself an evil, but the soul enters its good through virtue, not living the life of the couplement, but holding itself apart, even here.
O Gaza, all lands belong to the Lord, not any grabber. Live in love with your neighbors, not die in horror.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan.
For more information, please visit Internet Sacred Text Archive, sacredtext.com.
I'm a practical person who has always believed that words of sympathy are not enough when it comes to fighting for change. Veganism is practical animal liberation. I'm very proud of being a vegan, not in a pious or self-righteous sense, but because in a very real way, I'm part of the most far-reaching revolution for change in human evolution. Mel Broughton, vegan.
Achoo! Achoo!
Intelligent viewers, we thank you for your kind presence for today's words of wisdom. Please join us again tomorrow for excerpts from the 6 Enneads by Plotinus, Vegetarian, The Nature of Good and Non-Being, Part 2 of 2. Coming up next is The Dead Sea's Transformation, A Glimpse of Divine Mercy, Part 1 of 2, right after Noteworthy News. May your lives be continually uplifted by heavenly blessings.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.